have this right here, and this one says that I'm pregnant, and you saying that my test results here is saying that it's negative. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Queena Sarina, and I am back with another freaking video. So in today's video, as y'all clearly seen by the title, 19 and pregnant, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all a story time of when I found out I was pregnant at age 19. So make sure y'all go ahead on and like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so you know when I'm dropping the next video. So let's get right into the video. Okay, y'all, so 19 and pregnant, right? 19 and pregnant. So I'm trying to see. Okay, so I had moved to Michigan when I was 19. So I was in Chicago my whole life, and then when I turned 19, I decided I wanted to move to Michigan. That's where all my cousins were. You know, I just wanted to, at the time, I wanted to get away from my parents, y'all. Well, it was just like I wanted to just be out on my own. I thought I was grown. I thought I knew what I was doing. You know, I was just like, I can't wait to leave. My daddy getting on my nerves. So yeah, I just wanted to leave, okay? I just wanted to leave Chicago, get away, be away, do my own thing, right? So, I ended up moving to Michigan. I ended up staying with my older cousin, Jamie, when I moved down there. So I had met this boy. I'm not gonna say his name. This is Janiyah, who is my oldest daughter. This is her biological dad. So I met him. He seemed cool. Well, y'all, it's a whole nother story time of signs. First off, that I should never even been talking to him. But if y'all want to know that video, like, cause totally found out that this boy was absolutely crazy, okay? So like, I have so many story times, y'all, like, it is crazy. But this boy was crazy. But this, like, it was signs that I seen that I should have just been like, nah, I'm good on you. But like I said, I was 19, so yeah, young, dumb. But anyway, y'all, like, that's a whole nother story time with him. And if y'all want to know about that story time, drop down below and I'll do that story time next. But so I ended up meeting this guy or whatnot. He stayed in Michigan. I guess he was from Michigan. My cousin never seen him. Didn't nobody really too much know about him in my family. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So like, we end up, you know, hitting it off. We end up being cool. This, that, and the third. He asked me, you know, to be his girlfriend. So, you know, I'm new in town. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So whoop the wop, y'all already know what happened. We end up, you know, getting it in or whatever. And that night we was lit. Like, we was lit. We was drinking. Yeah, 19, drinking, underage. I know. I was drinking and stuff like that. So like, we used a condom, but he didn't have another condom. So that should have been like, okay, no, you need another condom. But again, young and dumb. I'm 19. So long story short, a week or so later, I was just talking to my cousin Jamie, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, I'm really feeling him, this, that, and the third. He seems really cool, you know. We already, you know, got it in, woo, woo, this. She's like, oh, well, you know, give it a try, woo, woo. So something just told me to go get a pregnancy test. So I told her, I'm like, I need to get a pregnancy test. She was like, why? And I'm just like, I don't know, I just want to get one. She was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get one too. So I'm like, why you need now? My cousin was like, I was 19, she got 9 years on me. So, well, she got 10 years on me because I'm 30 now and she's 40. So yeah, I was 19, she was 29. So I'm like, she already had 3 kids, y'all. So I'm like, why you need to get a pregnancy test for you would woo. So anyway, so we both end up getting pregnancy tests, y'all. So she had took hers was negative or whatever. So I had took mine. And this was my first time ever taking a pregnancy test, y'all. Like, I didn't read the instructions. I just knew 2 lines was positive and 1 line was not. That's all I knew. That's all I cared about or whatever. So me not even thinking that I'm pregnant. So like, that's the crazy part, y'all. I didn't even think that I was pregnant, but I wanted to get a pregnancy test. But I didn't think I was pregnant, if that makes sense. Like, that's weird, right? Like, why are you getting a pregnancy test then if you don't think you're pregnant? But I ended up taking a pregnancy test. And so the first line popped up. And it was negative, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool, I ain't pregnant, woo, woo, woo. So I had ended up throwing y'all. So I went in the room and I threw the pregnancy test on my bags that I had it was like the vent by the wall. I really hope this is not blurry. It was on a vent by the wall, y'all. So I ended up throwing the pregnancy test and it went over there. So I'm like, oh, my pregnancy test came back. It was like not pregnant. She was like, oh, okay, let me see. I'm like, oh, girl, I done threw that pregnancy test. I don't know why I threw it, y'all. I don't know why I didn't go throw it in the garbage. What made me just toss it? Y'all, I don't know, but I tossed it. And so she like, let me see it. So I'm like, okay. So I went in the room and I got it and I picked it up and then I seen a faint line next to it was a clear line that the first line was real clear and the second line was faint. But y'all know how y'all can see that faint line. It wasn't like how you really looking harder, you know, they already got the lines inside the, you know, the devices. But you just looking hard. But it was like, you know, the dark line, it was like a faint line. But you can tell it was a faint line. So I'm like, I'm pregnant? I'm like, y'all, it's still not registering that I'm pregnant. So I ended up showing my cousin. She like, girl, you pregnant? I'm like, but this line is faint. She like, it don't matter if it's a faint line. That means that you're pregnant. So I'm like, nah, I'm not. I can't. She was like, yeah, you're pregnant. She's like, we're going to make an appointment. Like I said, y'all, I was new to Michigan. I was about like maybe 2 months in Michigan. 3 months in before I got pregnant. So she was like, we're going to make an appointment to the clinic, and then we're gonna go there, you go pee, and they're, you know, determine. I'm like, cool. So I had went there that morning. I had already ended up peeing, y'all. Like, when I took my first pregnancy test, that was my first morning pee. Because we had went and got the pregnancy test, but then we didn't take them the same day. We took the pregnancy test the next morning, I believe. So that was my first morning pee or whatever that I used. So I had ended up bringing the pregnancy test with me and also going to the clinic with my cousin, Janie. So we get there. They're like, okay, pee in the cup. I'm like, okay, I peed in the cup. They're like, no, your test results is negative. I'm like, but I have this right here, and this one says that I'm pregnant, and you saying that my test results here is saying that it's negative. She like, so what we're going to do is we're going to give you a cup to take home, and then your first morning pee, you pee in the cup, and then you bring it back to us. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I end up going back to my cousin's house, and then this time I end up calling him, because I didn't tell him the first time my stick was positive. I didn't tell him then. But I end up calling him, and I'm like, hey, can you come over? Because he was seeing like a couple of buildings down with one of his friends. So he had ended up coming over. And so I'm like, yeah, so I took this test, this one is positive, and then the test that I took at the clinic is negative, so they want me to pee in the cup, and they want me to come back in the morning. Do you want to come? He was like, y'all, he was not like with it at all. Like, it was like his reaction or whatever. He was like, I'll meet you up there tomorrow or something like that, because he didn't ride with us. So the next day came, y'all, we went up there, and I peed in the cup that morning. We went up there. I was like, hey, I'm back. I gave them the cup. They called me back. They was like, yeah, you're pregnant. You're about, when was your last period? This, that, and the third. And I'm like, what? So the marks led up that I was 3 weeks pregnant. So I wasn't even a whole month, y'all. I found that when I was 3 weeks. So I was 3 weeks pregnant, and I'm like, whoa. So I go back up there. I tell my cousin, I'm like, yeah, they said I'm pregnant. So he's coming in, right? He's coming up the stairs. I don't know, y'all. This, like I said, if y'all want a story time of him, I have hella crazy story times. Like, hella crazy story times. So he coming up the stairs, and so we coming out, and I got the results, you know, in my hand to say that I'm pregnant, approximately how far along I am, stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm 3 weeks. He like, oh, well, I have the money for an abortion. And so I'm like, nah, I'm not getting an abortion. I don't want an abortion. I'm not gonna kill my baby. You know, this is what happens when you don't protect yourself, this, that, and the third. Like, this is what I'm telling him. So he like, I'm like, if you ain't gonna be there, if you don't want to be there, then I'm gonna raise this baby on my own. And that's just what it's gonna be. So y'all, he started talking crazy to me. He started saying like I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm only 19. I think he was a year or two older than me, so he was like 20, 21. I'm like, he like, you only 19, you stupid for wanting to keep the baby, and like he just started talking all type of reckless stuff to me. So I'm a hothead. I am. I'm a hothead. I'll be ready. I'll be on go. Like, especially back then, I done calmed down a lot because of my age and because of my kids. But baby, when I say I was a hothead, I was a hothead. So I'm like, man, F you, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. So like, he trying to charge y'all. He's trying to charge at me or whatever. So I guess we was so loud that the security guard came upstairs and he was in between us. And so when he was trying to charge, the security guard grabs him. Then my cousin was in front of me, because like my cousin, she ride or die. Like she was all for it. We was, look, I don't know about these Michigan girls, but I'm from Chicago, okay? So my cousin like, Queena, stop arguing with him. You pregnant. You don't want a miscarriage. You know, this is your first pregnancy. You know, this, that, and the third. She trying to calm me down. The security guard telling him like, you gotta go. Woo, woo, woo. So he ended up telling me like, he still like calling. And at this point, y'all, he calling me out my name. I'm all type of B's, H's, you know, HOE's, B's, you know, BITCH. I'm all types of all of that, right? So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Woo, da, 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 da. So I had a water bottle in my hand, y'all. So I ended up throwing the water bottle, because at this point I'm mad I can't get to him, because my cousin blocking me, and my cousin's strong. Like my cousin is strong as hell. That's my baby. She was blocking me, so I couldn't get to him, and then the security guard had him. So she pulling me. She's trying to pull me. She's telling me to stop because I'm pregnant. And so we end up. She ended up calming me down, and the security guard was like, you just go, you guys, da, 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 da. So we ended up leaving out the building. So I'm crying because I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, this is what happened. Like, he up here acting the ass. Like, it was just crazy, y'all. And then I'm 19, so I really don't know much, you know, about having a kid, because I'm just 19, you know what I'm saying? So like, all of that is registering to my head. So I'm just whatever. So I'm crying, walking down the stairs with my cousin. She like, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna help you. You got this. You know, just trying to encourage me. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I can't believe that, like, he did this. Like, this showed me his true colors. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, I realized that he was not gonna be there. And at 19, I knew I was gonna be a single mom and raise the baby by myself, which I did. Raise her by myself until she was 2. But that's a whole nother story time, y'all. Like, I got a lot of story times. But anyways, that was me finding out that I was pregnant at 19. Crazy, right? I have, like, when I look back and like me telling this story or whatever, realizing all the signs and stuff, that just goes to show us, like, we really cannot ignore signs. God sent us signs. We really can't ignore the signs he's sending us about that person. I do not regret my baby. I love Janiyah from the bottom of my heart. That was my first love. I never felt a love like that ever in life when it comes to my kids. If y'all got kids, then you understand what I'm talking about. That's unconditional love. But yeah, like, we just gotta, you know, follow the signs. We got to, you know, not ignore them. So anyways, y'all, that wraps up this story time. Like I said, I have a whole lot of story times to tell. If y'all want to know more story times about me and him, like, y'all, he did a lot. Like, he didn't kidnap me and my baby, y'all, like, legit held us against my will. Like, he didn't, y'all, fought me the day after I had her coming home, like the day after they released me from the hospital. Like, it's just so much stuff. Like, when I think about my younger days, I have a lot of story times, and I'm glad that I have grown and matured, and I will just, you know, pray that my kids never experience that type of stuff that I experienced dealing with another person. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if y'all want to know the other story times, just let me know below. Drop down in the comments if y'all want to hear it. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead on and wrap up this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and I haven't even been saying follow me on my social media, y'all. Y'all can follow me on Snapchat at Ms. MZ Bombshell, BOMBSHELL 24, and then y'all can follow me on Instagram at Miss_Brownskin_Bombshell. All of my social media links will be down below as well. And until next time, I will catch y'all in the next video.